Hi, I'm Bryan with Pioneer Builders. Today we're just west of the Puget Sound. In this video, we're going to talk about fall protection. First, I want to talk to you a little bit about kind of the theory behind some of the ideas that we do. Number one, during construction, we want to have fall protection. So that could be somebody who's installing gutters, it could be a painter, different trades can utilize what we have. Sometimes, especially in an environment like this spec home may not end up selling. So what we end up doing is occasionally we'll rent it out, wait for values to come back, sell it, and it's just better for us financially than chasing the bottom, as you might call it. So when we keep the houses in our portfolio, we're thinking ahead in terms of maintenance. So what if we're the folks who need to go up and clean the gutters, or do touch-up paint, or address some penetration that's through the roof? If we already have the fall protection baked into the process, it actually makes the maintenance side of keeping our properties up to date easier. The fact is, if we can maintain our asset in good working order, then by the time we go to sell the house, it's going to be easier for us to do. All right, so now let's get into a little bit more of the specifics on fall protection. Typically, you might hear of the ABCs of fall arrest or fall restraint. I just read there's actually a D that's been added to it that has to do with rescuing and that kind of thing. A is for the anchor point, B is for a body harness, and then C is for a connection. In this video, we're only going to focus on the A part, the anchor point. What we like to do is install these double D-ring anchors at the ridge of a roof. This particular one that we have is Guardian. There's a lot of different brands that make different ones. I think they're all certified pretty stringently, but this is the foundation. It's kind of like Fall Protection 101. We already have this one open. Let's go ahead and get a closer look at the actual device itself. So it has two rings, and this is what you would end up clipping into. Right here is about the center. So you'll end up seeing later on in the video with the ones that we already have installed. But if you bend this, it ends up going kind of like a mountain over the ridge of the roof system. And then there's these steel Shanks nails that you end up using to drive into the rafters. In our case, they're hand cut rafters, but the trusses would be the other thing. Pretty top-notch fasteners. So those come with them. We've generally seen that with these types of anchors. Then there's a butyl strip here. You take the release paper off, and that helps with waterproofing and maybe it's damp proofing. In any case, it just helps as far as leaks is concerned. It might be kind of hard to see. Actually, I'll go ahead and pull this back out. You want to make sure that you drive this through every one of the holes. So of course that would go all the way through. And then you get an idea of how deep that would go into the substrate. So you want to make sure every one of those gets nailed, and then you're pretty much ready to go. From the underside, you can see we just quote unquote installed all of these fasteners. It obviously wouldn't actually adhere to the shaft like it is here as far as the nail is concerned, because it would be being pushed up against the substrate. In our case, we're using Huber zip system sheathing, so that would end up going tight to that WRB coating that's on that system. This serves as the weather resistant / waterproof barrier. It's a butyl tape, and so that gives you an idea. This particular brand, you're really only putting in 4 of these stainless steel spiral screws on each side. This has now become sacrificial, so I'm just going to bend it, and then you'll be able to see better what that ends up looking like. Of course, you'll never see these fasteners from the underside, but this is basically all that ends up being exposed. Roofing covers all of this up. Well, it's Washington State, and lo and behold, it's raining again. So that's a good time for us to wrap up the video. So we talked about some of the basics of the anchor, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about the spirit behind having a safety culture on the job site. It's not just about getting a fine. It's not just about the time lost if you have an inspector come on site. It's about somebody getting hurt. The fact is, generally residential job sites don't get as much attention by the safety organizations as commercial job sites. This is about us actually caring about people. So my brother works with us, my brother-in-law, a friend works for us. I don't ever want to get the phone call that they got hurt. I don't ever want to have to make the phone call or visit their wife in person telling them that they died. Fall protection is dangerous. Construction is dangerous. So we want to make sure that we bake into the process the culture of safety. If you've ever tried to figure out how to do something safely when you're in process, it's very difficult. But if you think it through up front, analyze what your solutions are, it really does make it a lot easier. 10, 15, 20 years ago, I don't know how long ago it was, a mentor of mine said, "Bryan, the first time somebody gets hurt on one of your job sites, you'll never think the same." And that has clearly stuck with me. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Bryan with Pioneer Builders. If you want day-to-day content, follow me on Instagram at Pioneer Builders Inc. And I look forward to seeing you next time.